What's up guys, it's Austin. Welcome to today's vlog slash storytime video. I have not done a Ouija board storytime in so long, and I'm actually really scared to tell this story because this is probably one of, if not the most creepiest things that have happened to me while owning a Ouija board. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Austin, you threw out the Ouija board last year. And yes, I did. I did throw it out. Me and my friends, we went to the haunted ruins and we threw it out because there was so much weird stuff happening with it and we contacted so many strange things and just stuff was happening a lot. So we got rid of it to get rid of those spirits. Yeah, that didn't end up happening. Obviously, I'm still haunted. I've been making recent story times about that and vlogs. So let's get to the backstory of how this whole story came about. So I told my friend I wanted to buy a Ouija board for future videos. I'm just like, I think it'd be really cool to use it in some upcoming videos. We went to the store and I got this new Ouija board. It is an exclusive edition one. It's very new. I think they've only had this version out for a few years. It might be longer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wanted to get this one because not only does it look freaking cool, but it's gonna be really sick in upcoming videos. What's really interesting is the planchette, this piece right here that you use to move around on the board, is actually wooden. The old one is plastic. It's all wooden. The board is wooden, the planchette is wooden. The board we used last year was wooden, but like I said, this thing was plastic. But anyway, that is my new Ouija board. I just wanted to show that off for a minute. I think it's really cool. We're gonna get into the scary stuff here right away. So I bought the board. We're driving home. Immediately I'm thinking in my head, something's gonna happen. As I have the Ouija board in the front of the car with me, I'm like, something's gonna happen. I know it. I have a really weird feeling. I take the Ouija board out of the bag and I just put it onto the bed. I start watching YouTube videos. Paranormal stuff hasn't really been happening recently. This kind of caught me off guard. A few minutes into the YouTube video that I'm watching, the lights in my room start flickering, just like dun, 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 in a really weird motion. I don't think I've ever seen them flicker like that. Sometimes they'll go like dun, 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 like they'll do like a double flicker sometimes. And like sometimes my lamp will do a really strange like flicker effect whenever something weird is happening. I'm just like, okay. So I kind of just like brush it off and like, okay, maybe the lights are dying. A few minutes goes by and they start doing it again. And then I'm thinking, this has not happened for weeks, like quite a long time, like almost a month. There has to be something that's making this happen. And I realized I had bought the Ouija board. I'm like, okay, so stuff is already happening. Fast forward to today, I was on a Discord video call. If you guys don't know what Discord is, now it's a video chatting site. A few years ago, they recently put like a video chatting feature on it and you can talk to your friends on it. I was on with a friend. The friend I was talking to was just like, you should play the Ouija board, and I had just gotten it. I was actually really hesitant to play it, and I'm just like, I don't think it'll work when I play it alone. So what I did is I took out the dowsing rods. As you guys know, I've used these in recent videos too to communicate with spirits. I took out the Ouija board, I put it on the bed. My friend went upstairs to go have dinner really quick. I decided to have a little Ouija board session while he was upstairs. I place it on my bed, take out the dowsing rods, and I'm just like, okay, are there any spirits that want to talk to me through the Ouija board? The rods immediately just start crossing. They start going to yes. So crossing means yes, going out means no. I ask it, does it want me to play the Ouija board alone? And again, it goes to yes. I just keep asking it just to make sure. I go to the Ouija board and I put my hands on the little piece thing here. Oh my God, I'm like kind of shaking telling this story. This is scary. This is probably one of the most scariest things that have happened to me since I've started playing Ouija boards. And trust me, I've had a lot of scary experiences and they're on this channel, by the way. If you want to go check them out, I will put a playlist right up here. I start playing the Ouija board. I ask the first question. As always, like, you circle the planchette 3 times or whatever, and you're just like, are there any spirits here that want to talk to me right now? It doesn't work. And I'm just like, okay, maybe it just doesn't work when you're alone. So I tried it again. I spun it around in 3 circles, you know, like you usually do when you start up a Ouija board session. And I'm just like, are there any spirits that want to talk to me? It still didn't move. So I asked it a third question. I asked, are there any demonic spirits that want to talk to me? God, why am I getting so scared telling this story? I asked, are there any demonic spirits that want to talk to me? Immediately my nose starts running, like my nose starts to feel a little bit runny. And I'm just like, okay, so I thought it was just a regular, just run of the mill, just runny nose, just completely normal. I didn't think anything weird was happening because it wasn't moving right. So I didn't think the board was working. This was today, might I add, a few hours ago. What's funny is I'm recording this at like 3 a.m. I put my hand up to my nose. I'm just like, I'm not expecting really anything major. So I put my hand up to my nose and I see blood on my fingers. I'm just like, oh God, my nose is bleeding. I run to the bathroom and I grab a Kleenex. I try to stop the runny nose. And then I remember that my friend is in a Discord call with me. I completely forget about the call and I come back, I grab my phone and I take a picture of my hand, and I'll put it in the video right now. It'll probably be in the thumbnail too. And I'll put it right here. My thumb is all bloody from my nose. And then my friend, he still wasn't back yet. So I grabbed my phone and I took a picture because I wanted to get proof of this, just in case I was gonna make a story time of this or whatever. So I take a picture, I send it to him, and he's just like, WTF? Like, what is going on? And then he immediately comes running downstairs asking if I'm okay. He's just like, bro, are you okay? Like, he came running back into the room. He's just like, what's happening? And I'm just like, I just randomly took out the Ouija board. I wanted to play it alone and just to see if anything would happen. And my nose just randomly started bleeding out of nowhere. And he's just like, I think you should probably put it away now. I don't think it wants to talk to you. So that's what I did. I just picked up the Ouija board and I put it away. Nothing weird has happened since, but I will say that there was a strange knock that happened before I started playing it when I was asking the rods if I should play it. I actually have the rods here right now. I wanted to ask the rods a few questions about why my nose was bleeding, or if it was spirits that made my nose bleed, or whatever. If there are any spirits here right now, please make these rods cross inwards. Wow, that was quick. Wasn't expecting that. Lately, the response with these has been pretty slow. I don't know if the spirit in my house is just not as active, but that was pretty quick. If you are a evil spirit, make these rods go outwards towards me. So we're probably dealing with what I talked with a few hours ago. If this is the Shadow Man, can you please cross these rods? Oh my God. See, that's what I kind of figured that it was. Were you the one that made my nose bleed earlier? Keep the rods crossed if yes. Actually, make the rods swing if that was okay. Yeah, that was the Shadow Man. See guys? I'm not doing this. My hands are perfectly still. Okay, I think I'm gonna actually end the questions right there. I thought this whole nosebleed thing was just a coincidence, and a really strange coincidence, but I don't know why I thought it was one, because I don't get nosebleeds very often. And the fact that I got one while I was playing it alone is really strange. And I think anyone would agree with me on that. I haven't had a nosebleed in a few months. I don't get them very often, like I said. So this is actually very scary for me. I've seen movies, I've seen YouTube videos where people are just like, yeah, their nose starts bleeding and that's a sign of them being possessed while they're playing the board. Do I think that's what's happened to me? I have no idea, because in one of my most recent Ouija board videos, it's saying like, it wants to possess me, it wants to hurt me, it wants me to leave. I'm still trying to get as many answers as I possibly can. I don't know, I feel like I've gotten as much answers as I think I can get right now without making it mad. I think that's what was happening, is I was probably making it mad that I was maybe contacting it too often. I have no idea. Before I ended the video, I just wanted to show you guys kind of what the seances are almost going to look like now. So I've gotten these 3 giant red candles for seances for like future haunted locations and stuff, and for like 3 AM challenges as well. And yeah, this is the Ouija board. This is it all in detail. They've really done a good job with this new one. I'm actually pretty impressed. I actually like it better than the old one, because just the whole graphic design. And then you got the planchette here. It's got some crazy stuff on it. You got even the sun and the moon that are also on the Ouija board, which I think is kind of cool. And like I mentioned before, this is actually wooden, just like the Ouija board. So them both being wood kind of makes sense, because the old one, like I said, was made out of plastic, this planchette thing. I think I'm actually going to end this video with some Ouija board rules that I think are really good to know, just in case you guys do play it. Obviously, I recommend that you don't play it, but here are some rules just in case you want to know them. 1, never use the Ouija board alone, which I was about to do that. I don't know if I'm still going to do that, but I guess maybe if you guys request it and think I should still do it, maybe I will. Playing the Ouija board by yourself leaves you more vulnerable to an evil spirit coming through from the other side, so always make sure you play with friends. Never use it in a graveyard. A graveyard or somewhere where a violent murder took place can be a gateway for a malevolent entity to come through the veil. You don't want to risk opening channels through which they may make their way in from the other side. Never burn the board. Now this is something we never did. We were thinking about with the last one, breaking it into 7 pieces, which I've heard also gets rid of it. Or I also heard that you can actually gift it to somebody, and that can also pass it down in a sense, so that you don't still keep getting haunted. After a particularly harrowing session, users are often compelled to destroy a board board as thoroughly as possible in hopes of closing the portals they opened. To accomplish this, they will try to burn it, a method experienced users do not recommend. A Ouija board is said to scream if you burn it. That is freaking creepy. Burning a Ouija board doesn't work anyway, according to stories, as it always seems to end up back in the owner's home intact. Yeah, I actually heard if you try to get rid of it in any way, like if you throw it out, burn it, or anything, like it'll come back into your house. I've heard that one actually multiple times, which has actually scared me a lot. It says the proper way to dispose of a Ouija board is to break it into 7 pieces and sprinkle it with holy water and bury it. Oh, here's a good one. Always say goodbye. Closing the board is important as it shuts the door to the other side and prevents lingering spirits from interfering in your life. Anyways, I think that's going to be the end of today's Ouija board story time. It was obviously super insane. I've never had anything like that happen before. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.